Henry County is beginning the process of updating its comprehensive plan. A comprehensive plan is a long-term framework that guides land use, housing, transportation, and community services. It helps ensure that we grow in a way that meets our needs and preserves our values. A comprehensive plan includes several key components: land use, housing, transportation, economic development, parks and recreation, and public services. Each piece plays a vital role in shaping our community's character. In order to create a successful plan, we need your input. Public participation leads to better decision-making, enhances transparency, and builds trust between residents and officials. When everyone gets involved, we create a stronger, more resilient community. Let your voice be heard by taking part in our community survey. Our survey will be active until December 1st, 2024.
And every once in a while I still hear that people feel like they're not listened to. You know, this is the opportunity for your voice to be heard.
Right.
This is your opportunity to have a direct influence on the decisions that the county makes moving forward.
Right.
On lots of different topics, and that's where the word comprehensive comes from.
Right.
Because it covers lots of different topics, and you know, when this document is ultimately made part of the county regulations and is adopted by the Board of Supervisors, it's going to be their document.
Right.
And we can talk about that a little bit here in a minute, but the Planning Commission and Board of Supervisors are going to work in the same room on this at least 9 times, I believe,
Okay.
as we have it scheduled. So when it's all completed, it's going to be their document, not my document.
How many pages will it be?
It's not. That's another thing, is that this is going to be a digital document. This is going to be online for anyone to see, and to be able to get information from. I get phone calls all the time from developers, people that are interested in starting businesses from all over the country, and they want to know what your comprehensive plan says about this topic.
Wow.
I get that question quite often.
Right.
And our comprehensive plan is outdated.
Right.
Okay. And the benefit of it being digital is you'll also be able to do a keyword search on it, so you don't have to thumb through every single page to find what you're looking for. It'll be a lot easier to find information that way.
Right. Okay.
When a developer wants to know where we want to see, or where the county wants to see a certain type of development, where it wants to see commercial development, where it wants to see our next industrial development, the demographics of our area, where the population's growing, they can go to that document and be able to pull all that information.
Right.
And you would be surprised at how often that's done by people, developers around the country, that we never even know that they've been to our county website and done research on us.
Got it. Yeah, because they want to know the numbers.
That's right.
Because business is about numbers. A good example, I've heard a lot of people commenting, we got the new sheets coming down and says corner. People say, that was too busy of an intersection. Well, if your sheets, you want to be in a busy intersection. So it kind of, sometimes it doesn't always work together, does it?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's zoned appropriately down there. It's a commercial district. We have it zoned so that type of use is a permitted use. We make it, along with VDOT, we make it so it will work. The logistics of it, the traffic patterns of it will work. And they want to be where the action is. They want to be where traffic is. That's something that a developer, when they're wanting to come to an area, they don't want to spend a lot of time doing the research. They want to go right to one document and find their answer.
Right. All right. So when I get on there, I'm going to focus on Collinsville. That's going to be the one area that so we use that as an example. Okay. And there's 9 topics that y'all want to focus on, from what I understand.
That's right.
And number 1 is housing. And that seems to be a big topic right now, currently, all over the region, all over the United States right now. It's housing, the cost of housing, and not enough of it. And, if you'd ask us 15 years ago, do we need any housing? We'd say no.
I agree with that.
So that's changed.
It has changed.
Yeah.
our county and our EDC, our economic development folks, have done a good job. Our administration, the board of supervisors, we've done a good job at diversifying our economy here.
Right.
And we've got the housing studies that show that we have anywhere from 8,500 people to 10,000, depends on which statistics you look at, of folks that are driving into Martin County every day to work.
Right.
Well, that means they're living elsewhere.
Right.
And driving here to work, earning their paychecks, and taking it back home with them to spend it.
Right.
Well, those are the people that we want to target to live here.
Right.
So they can live and work in the same area and spend their money here.
So how would you comment on housing when you go into the website?
Well,
what would you say? I want more housing. What do you say?
I don't want to lead the discussion on that. I want people to tell me what they think. But I can tell you that we have an affordable housing shortage.
Okay.
And that's important because we have developers that have come into our area, and you know who they are, that have developed workforce.
And they sell out within weeks.
Weeks.
Right.
And one of the issues is that we really don't have enough inventory of when I say affordable type housing, single family, site built, new housing.
Right.
There aren't developers here in Henry County that are building many, if any, of that type of housing.
We need that, don't we?
And that's a goal of ours, is to provide an environment for them to be able to succeed, because we know there's a demand for it.
And if that's something the public specifically wants to comment on, the community survey does have a whole section dedicated to housing.
Can you type in what you want to say?
So there is an open form at the end of it where you can type whatever you want. There's also different ways that you can communicate that as well. For example, the interactive map that we have on the website, you can literally go onto the map and plot out a certain area where you think that it would be good to put housing there.
Got it. Awesome. And so you guys would listen to that, and if the public says we want more places to put housing, build new houses, then that's what you want to listen to, right?
That's exactly. And we want to put policies in place, and we have ordinances, and the board of supervisors can decide where they want to spend their money, and if it's incentivizing certain types of uses, whether it be housing or economic development, whatever it is. We can figure out ways to make that happen.
Right. Transportation. I know y'all have the buses.
Yep.
That go from hot spots to hot spots.
Well, years ago, the Henry County didn't have any public transportation at all.
Right.
And we started that out as a pilot program with one bus.
Yep.
And we realized pretty quickly that we needed to redesign our routes, make them shorter, more efficient for folks to be able to get to and from where they wanted to go. And we found a sweet spot. And now we're serving roughly 4,000 to 5,000 riders a month.
Wow. And it's affordable too, right?
Oh, it's free.
Oh, goodness. Okay, that's good. All right. So one thing I hear people say sometimes is that the buses don't run during like factory hours.
When we were designing that system, initially that's what our goal was, is try to make it to get people to and from work. Well, we experimented with that, and it just didn't work out the way we wanted it to.
Okay.
So what it's turned out, or what it's morphed into, is something to get people to and from their appointments, doctor's appointments, other types of appointments, shopping areas,
grocery stores,
right. All that.
Right.
And it's obviously a need for it. I mean, just the numbers show that there's a need for public transportation here.
And I don't want to narrow that piece of it down to just bus routes and things like that. You can think more holistically, as in, do we need more incentives for ride sharing? Is that an opportunity that we can go down? Or even active transportation? Do we need to build out more of the trails so people can bike to work through that?
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Land use.
Land use is the
that's your area, isn't it?
Way. Yeah, that's my specialty. A lot of years now.
Yeah.
It's where you want uses to go, where you want to facilitate growth, and on the flip side of that, where you want things to be preserved. We need to hear that from folks. With the types of development we've had around the county, it's you have your Collinsville, where you have your densely populated areas or dense development. You also have a rural character to a lot of Henry County that, things are happening out there, such as solar farms and other uses that are having an effect on that character.
Yeah.
There needs to be a balance between agricultural, rural, and development.
What are we most right now in the county? Are we mostly agricultural?
Oh, yes. Yeah, but the majority of the land use in Henry County is probably 75% agricultural.
Right.
And when I say agricultural, it doesn't necessarily mean farms.
Right.
I mean, it can mean just growing trees, forests, clear space,
Right.
Or open space rather. But there needs to be a balance, and we need to hear from folks.
I'm hearing all kind of comments on solar farms. Like one I heard the other day, it's like, can we say that in our laws that if we put up a solar farm that we can at least get the advantages of that solar farm?
That's a whole different topic,
Right.
but the answer to that is yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's called community solar.
Right.
So there are utility scale solar, and then there's community solar.
Because nobody likes our electric bill right now, and
No.
we know that carrying electric down long lines is one of the things that makes it super expensive. So if we did solar farms, they should benefit us, right?
I agree 100%.
Right. So that's something you could put down if you're commenting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is a land use that is a hot topic right now, and there's people that feel very strongly about it on both sides.
Yeah.
And that's something that wasn't around the last time they did the comprehensive plan. Solar
Okay.
was not a
Right.
thing, so this would be completely novel for
Right.
this
It's
iteration.
a good
of
time if you
comprehensive
like
plan.
solar to let you or like it or don't like it. Good time to comment, right?
Yeah, it's something that's gonna happen.
Because I
It
can
is
see
happening.
somebody saying we looked at the comprehensive plan, and these people in Ridgeway don't want solar.
Well-
could it be used like that?
One of the goals of a comp plan would be to, if it's a good use, if it's a beneficial use for your county,
Mm-hmm.
where would you like for it to take place?
Gotcha. Is that a
So-
question you ask in there? But is any questions about solar farms?
I'd have to look at. I don't think that's on our questionnaire.
Yeah, I don't recall specifically if it's on
Right.
there, but it's definitely something that you could list in the open
Okay.
part of the
right.
survey.
Economic development. Now, can you say here that don't be going after jobs that pay $10 an hour? I want y'all to go after bigger jobs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's something you could say.
There's plenty of topics regarding economic development. What I would say to that is, we need to keep doing what we're doing and do it better.
Right.
It's a good feeling, and we talk about that, and it's a good feeling to sometimes say no, because we can do better.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't always a time when Henry County could be choosy as to the type of development or the type of industry, type of manufacturing that they wanted.
Yeah.
Now we're in a better position
Right.
to be able to be choosy.
That section isn't just about industry, even though we think about it that way in the county because we do a lot with our industrial parks, but you can think of it holistically as well, like finding opportunities for growth in our tourism sectors and things like that.
Right.
So
We got you.
and small business for that matter. It doesn't have to necessarily be industries, even though that is a main focus for Henry County.
One of the kudos, I think, is when y'all put that training center right there in the middle of the Commonwealth Crossing. That got us crowned, no doubt. And they said it. I mean, that's the kind of forward thinking we got to be doing. And if people like that kind of stuff, get on and comment, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Tourism. We just talked about tourism.
Yep.
One of the things that beautiful Dick and Willie Trail that goes all throughout the community gets talked about every time. And I haven't seen the new part, but I hear it's really pretty to look at. Have you been down it yet?
I have been on the land. I haven't been
Then you
all
went-
the way down to
Yeah.
the bottom of it.
Right.
It is a
Scenic.
it's pretty scenic. It's very hilly.
Right.
I think we've done the master plan for the park, and right now it's just a matter of when we can get grant funding to start developing it
Right.
more.
Right. So what kind of things what kind of comments you're looking for in tourism?
So tourism, just what would they like to see us be the draw for, honestly?
Right.
Do we need to build more hotels so we can accommodate some of the race traffic that we're getting?
Right.
Or even expanding out some of the opportunities that we have with the Smith River Sports Complex? Do we need to put like I guess more seating there or more showers so that we can host some of these tournaments.
Right.
So anything they can think of. I know another aspect. Do they want more wineries, breweries, that type of thing? You can put that in there. Campgrounds.
I mean, one of the things I keep hearing over and over again, people say we need space to have like a business show, because every year they have to move it somewhere else because they take that place up, and it's awkward. Or maybe a place that we can hold 2,000 people for a concert. Maybe like a some kind of shell building that could be multi-purpose. But is that something?
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd love to hear that idea.
Right.
And the
One
type
thing
of
we
uses they'd love to see in there.
One thing I've seen other communities, they don't make a lot of money at it, but it does help the spice of life. Yeah.
It's called quality of life.
Quality of life, yeah. All right. Health. What can y'all do in health?
Well, I mean, that's where I have one of the focus groups. You know, I'm bringing in experts in public health.
Right.
You know, I'm looking at a list here.
I don't think we score very well there right now.
No, probably not.
Right.
And that's and again, when you've got your recreational facilities out there, you know, you're trying to promote people in healthy living.
Right.
But you've also got to be reactive now to the fact that people need health care.
Yep.
And you know they're not always as healthy as they want to be or should be. So we've got to face the fact that we have to have adequate health care for our residents. You know, that it's hard to plan for that because it doesn't happen because you just want it to.
Yeah.
You got to have partners involved in it.
Right. Another thing is trying to find healthy food.
Yeah.
Is a very difficult problem.
Yeah. You sometimes pay more to be healthy.
Right.
It doesn't seem right, but
Right. True. You're right.
there's
You're right.
There's an aspect of that you have to want it. You have to look for it, and
I got just kind of a tough question for you, but we see Dollar Generals popping everywhere. But can they be required to have fruit as part of its own thing?
No, it can't.
Okay.
We can't define the retail use like that.
Okay.
What they carry as far as their stock is concerned.
Right. But I've seen you be able to control the way their building looks.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that. Education.
That's a topic bigger than this room.
Okay. Right.
That's another one of our focus groups where we're going to be bringing in the experts into a room with us, and we're going to be talking to them and having them discuss with us what they need, what they'd like to see. You know, we, from a planning perspective, don't try to guide the discussions. You know, we want that to happen naturally. We want the experts to tell us what type of environment they want to be successful. You know, education, you know, we're focusing on Henry County. But, you know, there's the broader topic of education too. Higher education, you know, that's a topic we need to explore.
Okay. Public safety. Is that Wayne Davis area?
Another hot topic. Well, you know, our public safety director is Matt Tatum.
Right.
The sheriff, of course, Wayne, now Sheriff Davis, is doing an outstanding job. You know, if he wants the county, if he wants from a planning perspective something done differently, I can think of something right off the top of my head. When you design housing developments, there are folks that specialize in designing them for safety. I'd love to, and I don't know all those concepts, but I think it'd be good to, you know, the next housing development that we do, have some of these public safety experts in the room or giving us ideas of how to design these for people's safety.
Right.
That's just one small piece of it.
Right.
But, you know, when you're developing a healthy community, you've got to make room for everybody.
Right.
And you've got to have housing options for everybody. I mean, that's a healthy community. So from a law enforcement standpoint, you know, I'm going to let them tell me or tell us what they want to see happen.
So how can people comment about that?
How can they comment? There's an open area on there for them to comment.
Okay.
You know, I want to hear everyone's comments and feedback, because if I don't hear it, it may not be something that we've thought of, and I want to be able to hear their ideas. I've been around this a long time, but I want to hear new, innovative ideas from folks too, because this is our opportunity to influence how things move forward. And I want people to take advantage of it. We don't do this very often. It's been a long time since we've done the last comprehensive plan.
Right.
And like I think I said earlier, we were very successful with that first comprehensive plan that I was involved in.
Right.
And we basically met all those goals and objectives over the years.
Right.
Well, I want to do that again with this one.
Got it. And on the bottom of the screen, we've got the website, shapinghenrycounty.com. Just go on there. You say it won't take more than 10 minutes, right, Brandon?
It should not take more than 10 minutes.
That's incredible. That's good. And then we have some on-site areas that we're going to get our producer to put those up on the screen. 2 different locations where they're going to be doing on-site. Is that kind of like where you can talk, and how does that work, Lee?
What we're doing is we're calling these public workshops.
Right.
Yep.
And the public workshops are, I've got focus groups also, but outside of the focus groups, I wanted opportunities for individuals.
Yeah.
Our
old school.
Well, that's right. That's the old school planning techniques where you go to them.
Right.
You go to where people are.
Yeah.
And we've had 3 of these scheduled throughout the county. We've only done 1 so far.
All right, let's put that one back up. We got one here right before Halloween. Now, if this show's airing after Halloween, guess what? You don't go there. But
there's another one after that.
That's right, horse pasture. Let's say if you live in Collinsville, if you want to go to this one, can you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, all right.
Absolutely.
And one thing, because you didn't note that if it airs after it's happened, I still would encourage everyone to go to the community survey or to try to go to the website to take advantage of the idea wall and the interactive map.
Right.
Those are there in case you can't make these meetings, so you can still have your voice heard.
So that's going to be at the Horse Pasture Brewerton Club, 6 to 7:30, reasonable time, right after work. And you can scan that. Look, we might be old school, but you can still scan it.
Yep.
And so and we got one more to put up. I think it's number 3. That one is at where?
It's at the Galilean House of Worship in Iriswood.
Yep. And that one's from 6 to 7 too. And that's right there on, like, going to Danville, right?
58 Fort Axton.
There you go. There you go.
And our first one was on a Tuesday night, the one October 30th on a Wednesday night, and then the one on November 21st is on a Thursday night. So there's an opportunity for people to come out and let us know what you think.
Hey, Brandon, you say how many people we've gotten signed up already?
So far, at last count, we've had 140 people take the survey so far. Yeah, it's a good first start, and it's going until December 1st, so we still want to get that number as high as we can.
We got a whole month.
Yeah, we still got a whole month to get it out.
Right.
And we're doing it through a lot of different ways. You'll see some stuff on our social media, see some stuff through Star News. We sent out a newsletter through our schools, and also to some of our local ministers. Yeah, we want to get all different perspectives on this.
I mean, they're going to live here long enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. How about teachers, getting teachers involved? Hey, let's go do this.
Yep. They would be included in that as well, in that newsletter that got sent out.
Man, I hope I think that would warrant some school time to do.
I would love to see high school students do this. There's no reason in the world why they can't scan the QR code or go to that website and give us their feedback too.
And for some of the people that are a little bit more old school, because we did mention it, if they contact my office, I'd be glad to get them a paper copy if they're not comfortable doing it online as well.
Awesome. This is awesome. I really do appreciate it. I like this idea of listening and so forth. Gives you some data to work with.
That's right.
Yeah.
I want to hear the ideas.
Right. And a lot of times I get amazing, people, they leave here and they come back. Because there's a simple life here that we all love.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, what I always like, if I got a problem with Henry County, I can go talk to Lee and he can fix it. And, you always have a way to fix things. Yeah. You don't get that in every community.
No, sometimes it's there are places where it's a little hard to get in touch with your local government folks, but we make sure that all of us are extremely accessible.
You do.
That's the way we want it.
I got it. So I'm going to give out the website one more time.
It's shapinghenrycounty.com.
Right. And you get in there. Do you have to tell them who you are? How does that work?
No. Yeah, there's no requirement that you identify
And even city
yourself.
people can get on this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah,
can.
Anybody
cool.
can.
Yeah, I mean, they live here too.
I want to hear ideas from anyone who's got a good one to give.
How about somebody out of town?
If they have ideas for Henry County, I'd still love to hear it.
There you go. There you go.
Because people outside town doesn't necessarily mean they don't have a relationship with Henry County that would warrant it. They could work in Henry County,
Right.
but live somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we still want to hear their perspectives as well.
Yeah. So open ears to everybody.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
I want to hear. I want the feedback.
There you go. There you go. Data. And that's the right way.
I want the ideas. I want the feedback. Then we'll we'll compile all that and put it into something that works for all of us.
All right. Love it, man. All right. ShapingHenryCounty.com. Get on there now. Go do it right now. If you're watching the show right now, go do it. You'll forget it. So go take 10 minutes of your life and think about the future. We don't spend enough time on our future, do we, Lee?
No, we don't. And
That's what we all get
We're
for
all
that.
busy. We all have things to do. But this is important.
I think I'm going to sit down in the next day or two and just say, this is what I want the rest of my life to look like. Right?
If you have that kind of crystal ball, I'd love to see you do it.
All right, man. All right. Think about our future.
Henry County is beginning the process of updating its comprehensive plan. A comprehensive plan is a long-term framework that guides land use, housing, transportation, and community services. It helps ensure that we grow in a way that meets our needs and preserves our values. A comprehensive plan includes several key components: land use, housing, transportation, economic development, parks and recreation, and public services. Each piece plays a vital role in shaping our community's character. In order to create a successful plan, we need your input. Public participation leads to better decision-making, enhances transparency, and builds trust between residents and officials. When everyone gets involved, we create a stronger, more resilient community. Let your voice be heard by taking part in our community survey. Our survey will be active until December 1st, 2024.